Welcome to a new episode of Bump in the Night.
But the question is, are you scared of the dark? I don't like it.
Yes, this week we're coming to you from the Victoria tunnels in Ouseburn. Now, Mel, what do you know about these?
Well, these date back to the 1840s, and then, of course, they were used for an air raid shelter. So there's a lot of history, there's a lot of drama that's unfolded within those walls. So let's see what we find.
A lot of drama. These are underground, my lady, 2.4 miles long. If we scream, nobody's going to hear us.
Oh, no one can come rescue, but we've got our hard hat.
Come on, then. Let's go and see if we can find some ghosts.
Oh, it's going to be dark in here, isn't it?
Oh, I don't like it already. The Victoria Tunnel is a subterranean wagonway that runs underground for 2.4 miles from the town moor down to the River Tyne. It was built in 1839 to transport coal from Lee's main colliery to the riverside staiths ready for loading onto boats for export. Originally, coal was carried on carts through the streets of Newcastle, however this was slow and expensive because of the poor layout of the roads and taxes. The tunnel took 3 years to complete and was abandoned in 1860 with the close of the colliery. During the Second World War, it was transformed into an air raid shelter that could accommodate 9,000 people. Entrances were opened along the route, over 500 bunk beds installed, and concrete reinforcement added to make it a safe place to take shelter. Now one of Newcastle's most visited attractions, the Victoria Tunnel is run by the Ouseburn Trust and is the location for tonight's paranormal investigation.
Well, we're 55 foot below ground right now, and there's a bit of an echo all around. These are the bunk beds from World War II. Not seats for Peter and I to sit on. We nearly made that mistake. Now, I can already see some of the gadgets as well. So the team are setting up. Terry.
Hiya.
Right. You're here, setting some of the stuff up. First of all, when you and the team came in, tell us what your initial thoughts were when you've been in the tunnels before. Have you been here?
No, I've never been in here before.
So what was your initial thought when you came in then and had a bit of a look around?
Well, when I look around in the dark and sure where we went the other direction from the tunnels, then the strip lights just disappear. And it's going to really be spooky down there, it really is. But space-wise, we're limited to it because it's just one long tunnel. There's only so much we can do in the tunnels from the experiments. But, hopefully we're going to get some results.
Fingers crossed. Now, I mean, they do just keep going and going for lengths, these tunnels. And it's interesting because there are some history plaques on the walls, and it sort of tells us what streets we're under as well, and sort of below the roads outside. And what happened as well, now there was a bomb that was dropped just a bit further up there, and these are some of the bunk beds from World War II, and this is where you've initially set up. So, because I know you know some of the stories, there are some famous ghost stories.
Oh, there's at least three which are documented about.
And is that why you've decided to set up here then?
Well, not necessarily just because of that. It's going to be really hard to determine which part of the tunnel to set up, so it's looking for a needle in a haystack. So we just thought we'd use the setup here by putting the REM pod on the bunk beds, because obviously these were used. So if there's any spirit energy that maybe is down here, who knows, might want to take a rest, or I don't know. But it's the beds were used. So if it's anybody that's maybe died throughout the war,
well,
you never know.
If these go off and we're down here, it gets quite echoey the further you go down. We are going to absolutely wet ourselves. I'm just saying that now. If something happens down here, it's already eerie. It's a very isolated feeling you get down here, isn't it? You're completely cut off. So, I guess it's time to start the investigation and go down. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Terry, what are we going to do? It's
Go home. Can we go home, Terry?
No,
It's cold.
You've got to
It's
stay
late.
throughout the duration of this investigation.
It is cold down here, mind, isn't it?
I know. Come on.
Okay, well, what I'm going to plan to do is put the SB7 spirit box on. Hopefully, with us being so far down underground, we will get the radio stations to go through, scan through. Let's see if we can get in touch with William Colson, who was one of the pit inspectors that actually died down here.
Oh, lovely.
His communication was told to not send any wagons down. Got sent down and he lost his life. I believe it was on the 16th of June, 1852, I think. So,
Can we not just call for somebody nice, can sing us a song or something? A bit of Mozart, but no, we have to get somebody who's run over. Come on then.
okay, if there's any spirit energy down here in the tunnels with us right now, please say through this device that I have in my hand.
Would you like to say anything to us? We've come here to talk to you. Is there anybody there?
I don't honestly think that we're actually getting anything. I think we're too far below the ground for the radios to work, so we'll try the obelisk.
Try the obelisk?
That should work.
That was a drip though, wasn't it? Because this place is leaking. But we're going to drown.
Do you know this running water has been running since 1942?
Goodness.
And if you are caught piddling in it, you are charged a £5.
Which was the equivalent of £350 according to my research.
390.
Oh, there you go. Right, so now let's try the obelisk.
This just makes me think of the Ghostbusters.
Can I put that in your pocket? Why?
Because they're in a tunnel. There's going to be a ghost train that goes.
I don't think there's going to be a ghost train though. Oh, it's Metal Mickey again.
Okay, if there's anybody down here with us, come to this device. Talk to us. Got human.
Human?
Oh.
That's questionable. Trust us. Yes, we are humans.
Are you down here with us? William Colson. William Colson, come to this device. Why don't you say your name? My name's Terry. Got Melon. Automatic. What's fine. Stop doing that. You have the plaster on our heads, woman. What? So it's possible.
It's possible that these tunnels are falling to pieces around us.
Well, that's not very good. We're 55 feet below the ground.
Shall we walk?
No. What was that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that singing?
Did you hear
Did you hear that singing? That music come from down there?
I heard something. I don't know if it was singing, but I heard something.
I heard talking about it.
I heard singing down there.
I heard something.
Engine. Well, that is actually irrelevant because they had those steam engines down here.
Maybe one's coming, maybe one's coming.
God, I heard some singing down there.
There was noise down
I
there.
heard
Let's go down to the next tunnel.
Oh, God. Singing music down there.
That's just going to go by 2 now. There's no reason for that to go up.
Oh, I can't look.
This is what happens in zombie movies, you know. Well, they come down and have a bit of fun. Only one of them escapes. Sadly, the blonde one always ends up dead first, so you know, I'm not putting my money on you.
Oh my God, these tunnels are going on forever.
Well, I don't like it here.
Forever.
I don't like it. Well, folks, there's a lot more tunnel to explore, so join us after the break, and if we get lost, we should lay breadcrumbs, shouldn't we, as we go?
Oh my God.
Sure, there's somebody following us.
And don't say that, Peter, seriously.
Seriously, can you
Don't.
footprints?
It's so cold.
Well, welcome back from the break, folks.
Yeah, it's time to rejoin the investigation, but seriously, I am... Look at my hand.
That's just gin. Years of drinking gin, isn't it? Come on, hey, you're going to be shaking because you've got your own little paranormal investigation to do on your own.
I don't think I can do it. Don't eat!
Scared of your own shadow, isn't it? Come on, let's go see if we can find the gang. Shouldn't be down here, should it? Should be
Well, they said when you research it, it's constant temperature all the time.
It's getting cooler.
It does feel cold. Now it feels absolutely freezing here.
A ghost story. A terrible disaster took place in Tarset Street after a bombing raid. A young girl playing on the bomb site fell into a crater and was overcome by gas fumes. A Boy Scout and 2 firemen followed the girl into the crater and all 4 perished. The Scout and firemen received posthumous awards of honour. So that happened here. And there's the cutting, which might have been in the Cron or something.
1942.
So, should we ask a question here? Is there a young girl?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do we try to be open this again?
Yeah.
Takes me out of a horror film.
It's definitely the temperature's going. I feel absolutely frozen now.
Really cold, yeah.
And I can tell you the temperature has dropped quite a lot as well.
From up there.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter, this is well the music they were singing. So let's ask you something here.
Just take a show here. This must have been an air raid shelter part because the seats, and it's a bit taller, isn't it? You've got big concrete kind of walls here, you can like see, and a tin roof. Can you feel that draft? There. There was a draft just went by me then. And I can feel it here.
I can feel it as well.
Can you feel it just there coming through again?
That's what it's me. Let's see if it's. Oh, use. We've got a little jump on there as well.
Oh.
There's a draft here. There's a draft that's just come round. There was definitely, you just felt it then.
55.
I've gone freezing now.
It's the temperature has literally dropped down to 50 since we've dropped over a full degree.
It's a shaking, I'm not cold. I've just suddenly, I don't know if this is a cold spot here, but I've just gone. Can you feel it? That was really weird, because it wasn't there before.
It's dropping down.
Yeah. Right now,
Yeah,
it's challenge time.
I knew you were going to say that.
There's some benches over there. Don't think you can sit on them because I think we're worldy.
Yeah.
But I want you to stand next. We're just going to go a couple of tunnels round.
It's a freezing cold spot.
Don't worry, I'm going to leave you my phone.
What, a down? 911, we're not going to be down.
Well, there's no signal. But on the phone, video camera, and you can record what's going to go on. So you won't be alone. Are you ready? Are you ready?
No.
Well, let's do it.
Now this is a ridiculously cold spot. Oh, and I can't see a thing. However, I have seen that the ghosts do graffiti. And he's called Chris. So this is where the bomb dropped above. And there's a young girl. And also where I definitely heard music and singing. I mean, it was a lovely voice, but I'd prefer not to hear it again. Stop it! That's not funny. That's not funny. That could have put an eye out.
Now, listen, anybody here?
So there is, man. Don't be ridiculous.
Gone. They've all gone. They've all.
Right, I'm done now.
What was that?
I'm done. You. Oh my gosh, I tell you what, that was scary. Noises, voices, temperature drops, and just a weird feeling throughout. I mean, it's so dark.
It is. I mean, it kind of puts you off that you're just looking into darkness constantly. But I think we should head back to Paranormal HQ, see what we've found. But there is definitely something in these tunnels.
I've still got the shakes.
I don't like.
Well, we're back here at Paranormal HQ.
That's right, the Victoria tunnels. They were spooky. Come on, you must have been impressed with those.
Very, very spooky. I mean, they have those little strip lights going down the sides, and then when they stop, well, it really makes a different feeling about the whole
And also
thing.
the blast walls that they put in, so there's lots of corners that you're going around. Now, the one thing that happened was our kit failed on us, didn't it? We were outside doing the intros, which I don't think we can use because all the sound disappeared, the batteries drained. Then the sound was coming in and out. This seems to happen on ghost investigations. Why does kit fail?
Well, you've got to understand, these are spirit energies. Now, to get the energy, they will drain on a source of power. Now, the nearest thing around them is normally going to be the camera batteries and stuff like that. So that's how they get their energy to communicate to people.
So that's a sign in itself that something's happening.
That we haven't plugged them in. But we watch them because before we start these investigations and these shoots, we do go out there with all these fully charged kits and we check it all, and we get there and we can almost watch the batteries drain within a few minutes.
It's happened to us on many different investigations that we've done. We've been drained out so quick.
But there was a sound as well that I heard, and these tunnels are incredibly long. They're pretty much in a straight line, so it's not as if there's something at the end that you can't see. And we could hear murmuring
It's actually blocked off at the other end, so there can't be anybody coming in from another direction.
And you can hear like drops of water that are about 1,000 yards down the tunnel.
Definitely.
But this sounded like people.
Yeah, we all got the hearing, like it was murmuring. We couldn't actually make out what it was saying. That's why we then moved down.
Well, we moved so far down the tunnel to try and find where it was coming from or if it got louder, but it was almost just a constant far-off noise. But the thing is that you're so isolated in these tunnels because you are underground, and as you travel so far down, it's literally just you. You're cut off from the rest of the world. So when things start going a little bit crazy, it really does spook
And not
you
just
out.
isolated, but icy. I mean, the temperature dropped, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. There's thermometers down there saying it's a constant 12.5 degrees, and you see these on the thermometers when you go through. But we were getting, we all experienced cold blasts of air, and it was just around the times when we were asking it to do something, especially when we got to the part where the children had got burnt from a bomb above that part of the tunnel. And you'd actually asked it to do something where you actually caught a dismembered moan.
Yeah.
And you had your device that was showing the temperature, and it was actually dropping by 2 or 3 degrees, wasn't it?
One of these devices went off, didn't it? When we mentioned something, there was a flash on the... What was the name of that piece of equipment that we had?
That was a Melmeter.
Right.
Yeah, that was the one with the orange screen. That's a Melmeter. Actually, at one point, it just leaped up to 2 point something. I can't remember what it was. Don't know if we actually caught it on camera or not. I know Chris didn't catch it on our camera, but It's
always the case, isn't it? Always the
There
case.
was enough going on in those tunnels.
Caught
to,
you on camera, screaming, young lady. So what are your thoughts?
Well, one other thing, you do know that obviously the tunnels were for the coal. We had the thing that you said about the engine going off, but there was one other thing I recall asking, and I said, if you don't want to show yourself to us, there was some bunk beds, it was used as an air raid shelter from World War II. We actually placed the REM pod on the bunk bed, and I said, well, if you don't want to show yourself to us, make the REM pod go off. Now, under review, we actually had caught the REM pod. The REM pod did go off, but we were unaware of this because we were like nearly 2 miles up the tunnel.
I'm pleased we weren't aware of it, because that would have been me gone. I would have run out.
What do you think then, lady?
I will not be venturing back to those tunnels in the dark anyways. I know they do some
always
fantastic
dark.
tours, but it's still, there was too much going on and too many sounds. It's the sounds, it's the unknown sounds that freak me out.
Yeah, I think the kit failing on us, that kind of makes me think some things very strange at the Victoria tunnels.
I always